2020, there's a look at Lumen Field here in Seattle, Washington. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup on tap, as it'll be the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Seattle Seahawks. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Purdy going to the air right away. That's over the middle and caught by Pearsall. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 17 yards on the game's opening play and a quick first down.
Well, this defense certainly knows they're going to have their hands full trying to slow down this passing game. Here's an example on the very first play from scrimmage. I think we'll see some different looks, maybe some pressure from different places, but it didn't work there, and it's a quick first down.
Able to slither by. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. And 22 more yards there and another first down. Looked like they picked a heck of a time to run the counter.
And we've been saying that in this great game of football probably since we started playing. Anytime you get guys thinking you're going to go one way and you hit back the opposite side, it's a great chance it can turn into the type of play we just saw there, a big gainer.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Back-to-back nice gains, that one for 14 yards and another first. The impressive opening drive continues and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
And that is incomplete. Kyle Juszczyk, the fullback, the intended target. And it's second down.
On the coverage.
Back to throw, Purdy. Over the middle, complete. It's Jennings. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Purdy looking to throw. That is caught by the tight end Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Niners put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And that makes the score 7-0.
Seahawks, nothing.
Now after the touchdown, here's Piñeiro to kick it off. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Looking to put a drive together. Darnold. And we take it in by Shaheed. Down the left sideline. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. A great play there. 76 yards. And the Seahawks are able to strike back quickly with an opening touchdown of their own. Well, they said that they wanted to get him involved early, and what a way to cap their opening drive, Charles. We know he's one of the fastest receivers in the NFL, and he showcased it on that play.
And when you have a guy like that, you want to make sure the defense sees him early, right? You want to see how they're going to adjust, how they're going to try and guard him, because they can't replicate his speed in practice unless they've got one of the few guys who are as fast as he is. And all it took was one drive. He burned them, and I don't think it's the last time they call his number in this one.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Man, confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. They'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
Motion to the left with Jennings. Hauled in left side here by Jennings. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
I know this may be jumping the gun a little bit, but 7-7, they're flinging it around like crazy. Look at the drive that's going on here. Partner, we may have to start thinking about one of these defenses just holding someone to a field goal and maybe trying to get an advantage that way.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50.
That's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 5.
3rd and 5. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Had the offense humming on the first drive. Not much has changed here on drive number 2.
No, and I think a lot of times confidence just really kicks in for a team. They may have been confident going into the game, but once you prove it on a drive, it's hard to get out of that mindset, isn't it? And look, let's face it, we can always lock in on the skill position, guys. But those big fellas up front, they're really making this offense go early in the game.
Yeah, that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. And tip your cap to DeMarcus Lawrence. Nice play defensively. Let him go by a little too easily there.
Well, that's what we saw on film, isn't it? His head goes down oftentimes when he goes to punch, when he's trying to block. And when you do that, you can't see your target. He went right past him and made the play.
Purdy. Pass caught by Pearsall. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
A gain of 7 yards. And it's 3rd down.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Purdy now to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
On for the field goal. A 44-yard attempt.
This is up and good from Pinheiro. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
After the field goal, on to kick it away is Pinheiro. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I'll give him credit for trying, but there's no fooling the defense with that call. They were reading run, and they set up to stuff the run and then executed.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's a 2nd down and 9. In motion, the tight end. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
Throw out wide to Walker. And he stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves him just short for 4th down.
I think that we all figured when he caught it that short of the marker that the defense almost relaxed and said, we've got this covered. And then all of a sudden, space to run after the catch. And now they're screaming, somebody get him down. Fortunately, they got to him and forced the 4th down.
That's a 49-yard punt, 8 though on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns. Well, it looked like a quick hitter, a 3-step drop, but when it's not there, what do? He elects to try and escape through the mass of bodies up the middle, and he does so and picks up positive yardage.
Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
No receivers open, so who's forced to put that one into Puget Sound? That's a great job defensively blanketing those receivers. And ultimately, a smart idea by him just to get the ball out of there.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Throwing here, Purdy. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Look at the big fella go. George Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. George Kittle with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And they're able to add on to their advantage. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Pinheiro's extra point up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Here's Walker to start the drive. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Here's 2nd and 10. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. Back to throw, Darnold. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Darnold now to throw. Going deep for Walker. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
It's now 4th down.
I'll tell you what, these last couple of drives, much better from a defensive perspective. They gave up a touchdown on the opening drive, and then after forcing a punt on their last possession, it looks like they're going to get the football back again.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. Returning it is Moore. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. Well, they have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
Purdy now to throw off the play action. Looking for the out route. He's got it. Complete to Kittle. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
From the 48-yard line, here's a 2nd and 7. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. 50 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
12 more yards there and another 1st down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the 1st quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, not get loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling. Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. That's complete to Pearsall. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
A 3-yard gain on the play brings up 3rd down.
After one, 17-7 is our score. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a third down coming up. Purdy will set up to throw it here. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. That's going to bring up fourth down, only a gain of 2 there.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a fourth down?
On for the field goal. A 36-yard attempt.
The kick by Pinheiro is good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7.
Seahawks 7.
So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no win. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
Eddie Pinheiro
after the field goal, on to kick it away is Pinheiro. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. Hands it to Walker to begin the series. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
That's good.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Faking the give, Darnold. Open man left side, Shaheed has it. His second catch, this one not quite as dynamic as his first, and it's 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen, did not let him get downfield.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. He completes this to Walker. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. That'll give him 8 that time. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the 1st.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the 1st down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line. Over the middle and complete to Shaheed. And he's got this down to the 35. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle. But he's turning in a nice performance. Remember, he had the touchdown earlier, and this time he's able to beat double coverage to grab it.
I think that if he weren't worried about a taunting penalty, he'd run by the opposing team's bench and say, guys, 2 is not going to be enough. You better get some more guys trying to cover me. He knows how to get open downfield.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Now Darnold. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end, and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3.
A short gain that doesn't get him the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. And they just did not get the snap away in time. Tried the hard count, but to no avail.
Trying to do anything to get them to jump off sides and pick up a first down easily. Instead, it goes against them.
On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. This is a 49-yard attempt. Right hash. Myers' kick is good. And that cuts into the deficit. It's now 20-10. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. And able to get this out to the 25. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3.
Not one that I've ever met.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on 1st down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Purdy off the play fake. He'll get this to Jennings over the middle. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Purdy. That's caught by Jennings. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Up the gun, McCaffrey. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a 1st down.
And that one was a lot of fun right there, because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Pretty good job there defensively of stringing that one out.
Yeah, you've got a quarterback who's waiting and waiting for something to develop, and it just never materialized, and down he went behind the line of scrimmage.
Now Purdy connecting here with Christian McCaffrey. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 35. The Niners passing game in sync now. They've got another first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space and let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 28-yard line.
Here now, 2nd and 4. Back to the ground attack here. It's McCaffrey. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. 3rd and 3. Purdy looking to throw. This is Jennings. Call it a gain of a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here. Back to throw, Purdy. That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration.
1st and 10 at the 21-yard line.
So after the conversion on 4th, here's 1st and 10 just outside of the red zone. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And he'll just get back to the line of scrimmage, if that. And with a flag on the field, and that one looks to be in the area where someone was held. Looking to throw. Purdy. That's over the middle and caught by Pearsall. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A big play there on the catch and run. 30 yards.
This offense is looking very comfortable here in this first half. Very relaxed, very smooth, very efficient. No wasted motions. Things are definitely going their way, and they continue to move the ball downfield.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. McCaffrey is in. Touchdown 49ers.
Well, we talked a lot about Christian McCaffrey and what he can do in the open field, and it's easy to gloss over how tough he can be to stop near the goal line. And he shows you just how tough he is on that carry as he takes it into the end zone.
Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17.
Niners 27, Seahawks 10. Eddie Pinheiro set
now
to
after
kick
the
off.
touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Play action. It's Darnold. It gets this complete to Shaheed. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
13 yards on the play.
First down Seattle on a pickup of 13.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Well, I've seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is, because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
Here's Darnold. Over the middle, finding Smith and Jigba. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
And the Seahawks, first down. 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
I certainly like what he did right there, because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Darnold. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. The Niners ready to go on offense for the final time of this first half. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. 19 seconds showing to play in the half as they come up here 1st and 10. Well, they're just going to run it here up the middle. Yeah, he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
2nd and a yard at the 30-yard line.
First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Seahawks trailing, but they will have possession first here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Seahawk offense set to go to begin this 3rd quarter. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already, they need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
And he sneaks makes his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
32-yard line.
Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 3.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Darnold. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Back to throw, Darnold. Throw out wide to Walker. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that will bring up 2nd down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 47-yard line.
Again, Darnold. And that's going to be incomplete.
Well, when the running game's not working, sometimes you just got to take a few more chances down the field. That's a good effort, but it winds up incomplete.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Darnold now to throw. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
This has kind of been the story all night long, hasn't it? An inability to really get much done on 3rd downs, and it's costing them.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line, 1st and 10 at their own 26. He'll start by handing this off to McCaffrey. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A great play by Derek Hall to drop him behind the line of scrimmage.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Oh, heck of a move.
Man.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
3rd down and 1. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And the pressure gets to McCaffrey as they stop him short of the line to gain. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing up 4th down.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Fielded just inside the 20. A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, It has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions. But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
On the counter, it's Walker. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. These guys running back out of the backfield. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
Throwing quickly, Darnold, that's complete. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at their 48-yard line.
They'll come up 2nd and 7. Now it's Darnold. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Darnold to throw again. And this one is incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Throwing here, Purdy. Got him there right side. It's McCaffrey. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. First down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards.
When I see a defensive coordinator get upset and throw his headset, this is the kind of play that'll do it. You force 3rd and long. This is almost sort of a give-up play. You're just hoping to get something positive, and it winds up breaking big, and they convert on 3rd down.
And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. 84 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
And he's going to have the Niners first down as he'll get this up to about the 42.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
42-yard line.
So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. He'll get this out right here to McCaffrey. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and it's 2nd down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Purdy will set up to throw it here. This pass to Jennings, and he makes the catch. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
A 5-yard pickup on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Purdy. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, that's a good piece of quarterbacking right there because he certainly felt the pressure coming. The alternative, getting sacked for the first time. He didn't like that option at all. Did a nice job saving yardage by throwing that one away.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And that will bounce out of bounds before they can get a return going. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest. If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or did they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
And Darnold just beating the play clock. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw is Darnold. Now he's going to step up and run. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. The drive stays intact with a pickup of 13.
It certainly appears that he's been able to get a read on how they've wanted to contain him in this game. He's seen some places where he can beat them in big spots. And right there, he slides in with ease for the first down.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And he's got some space here. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
One quarter remains here on Sunday Night Primetime. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. And he is going to lose yardage here. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down. Well, they were going draw play there. The defense wasn't fooled. They sniffed it out.
I think they're going to have to go back and take a few more acting classes because that's what a lot of that is. You've got to influence them to think that it's going to be a pass play and have them drop out and maybe the defensive front coming forward and find yourself some space. In this case, no one was fooled and ended up spilling that play pretty well.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
That'll be caught by Cup. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Always got some breathing room. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 123 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
No gain on the play there, second down. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
A give running left, it's McCaffrey. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
And the throw there going to be a game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, they're going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. And this is a beauty as that ball's going to angle out at the 6-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Now Darnold. He finds Smith and Jigba. And a productive gain out to the 14 after starting at the 7. It's a gain of 7.
8 yards on the pickup.
Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Throwing again on second down. Darnold. And Walker has it. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And that'll make it second down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And this is going to be incomplete.
I wonder, Brandon, I just wonder, you think maybe he was worried about where he was on the field? Was he far enough? Was he close enough to the first down sticks?
Absolutely. He was right there by him, and I think he was thinking first down before he caught that football.
Yeah, got to catch it first, because if you don't catch it, there's no chance of picking up a first down.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Oh, nice move. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And they will take over 1st and 10. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. They've got a chance now to put this game away following that last defensive stop and punt. Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line, 1st and 10 at their own 24. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And it'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 132 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues. If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the 4th quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand they're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
Another run with McCaffrey on second down. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him and they bring him down. They overload him that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for San Francisco. Fielded at the 33. There goes a 42, making a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Off of play action, Darnold. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. So no gain on the play. And that'll bring up 2nd down. They tried to swing it out left into the flat, but the defense, they were very principled there.
It felt very West Coast offense, didn't it? You know their expression, right? On a West Coast offense, when they throw the ball, it's either going to be a touchdown or a check down, meaning they like to press it downfield. If they don't have it, swing it out, which is exactly what we saw there. But how about the great pursuit and tackle to make a nice play?
9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the first.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down. He'll look to throw, and Walker with it over the middle. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
That's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 1.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Now Darnold keeps it. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1.
It's been a good drive so far. They just wanted to keep it going, so they call low-risk, low-reward play. No one's worried about picking up big yardage here. Quarterback sneak, keep the chains moving, and pick up another first down.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Russell. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. 25 yards that time.
1st and 10.
That's really good play design right there, and it's one that comes down to the offensive line. It's a deep in route, but it's only going to work if that line gives you time in the pocket to wait for the route to develop. Mission accomplished there as they pick up the first down.
And his throw is incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle 3rd of the field where he threw that one. Now a 2nd and 10. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. He completes this to Walker. They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
It's 3rd and 7.
Throwing again is Darnold. Connecting with Kupp here on the out route. And he'll be tackled after a gain of 4. Still 3 yards short. 4th down.
It's 4th down.
They'll run for it. It's Walker. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. There wasn't even thought of a short field goal. There was no hesitation. They were going for it.
I think he was thinking ahead a couple plays ago, that if he got in this situation, they were definitely going for it. And you're right. It was a confident call and a decisive run to pick it up.
Now Darnold. And he's got it. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Cooper Kupp A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right. And if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Jennings. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Purdy now to throw. He'll get this underneath to McCaffrey. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and burn some clock now with McCaffrey. And he will have a Niners first down, and that ought to be the one that seals the victory. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
First down.
Down to a knee for the 49ers. This one about to be on ice. Well, you really can't ask for much more than what we just had here. Not only a close game that went down to the wire, Charles, but a clean one, too. No turnovers in this contest.
And I think you're exactly right about that. To me, this is just a pair of offenses trying to find the slightest bit of separation from each other. And they were both hoping that the other side would make the big mistake first. But today, neither side made that mistake. And what we got, a very entertaining game throughout.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Seattle.